see. Move my burrito. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ah. I forgot. It's not enter for that button. That's like the one button in any menu ever we don't press enter. Okay, this is Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. This is an FPS slash third-person kind of adventure shooter game. You do shoot. It's also very weird though. Like everything about this game is kind of odd. The game starts out pretty quickly. The first thing that just happened there was I immediately bountied a bad guy. And in this game, you play a bounty hunter, so you bounty bad guys. But this is the 80% route, so bountying will be very minimal. As for the movement, right now it's actually faster to do in first person. I'll be hopping a lot between third person later on, though. This is like a basic tutorial. A lot of functions are actually really limited, and it's faster to move in first person right now because I don't have any cool movement tricks. I actually clipped onto some geometry for a second there and was like hovering in the air. So here is the shooter part of the game, and the shooting part of this game is very odd. So right now the weapon we have is a crossbow, but the crossbow fires completely non-lethal ammo right at the moment. I just have that chipmunk, or chippunk as they call it, which I can use to bait people. In that case, I bait that guy to the bridge, he falls and dies. And I have to mash on the first third-person buttons to get out of that door. That's how you bounty bad guys. You have like this bounty hoover vac, you just kind of suck them up. But yeah, the big part of this game is that we really only have one weapon. It's the crossbow. We can punch people, you know, beat them up, show them a bad time, but it's not very effective. Like, I'll use a lot of punches in the run, but it's not going to be something that lets me kill people or really progress quickly. The crossbow can be loaded up with live ammo. This is a pun that the game makes a lot. It's always reminding you, like, by the way, your ammunition's alive, because it's bugs. And, of course, the different ammo has different effects. Right now, the chipmunk, which I will actually never use in the game again, just taunts enemies towards it. The spider will weave a web of enemies and let me bounty them right away. You don't have to kill enemies, you just have to knock them out. The stunks on the right, I'm going to use a lot more later on. In all bounties, which is a different category from this, where you kill a lot more bosses, you actually use them a ton. But for this... Ooh, I hope the guy fell off. Okay, he did. You use them a lot because of some glitches you can kind of abuse, but right now I'm just going to have to put those on the back burner. And these are the fuzzles. You see them in the intro, which of course was skipped. They're cute little guys that cause enemies to run around horribly in pain. Enemies can't swim, so there's actually RNG in that section, because the enemies can not fall in the water, and if that happens, it wastes a bunch of time. And prepare for something that happens a few times in the run, which is going to be really loud audio. This shouldn't be super loud, but I need to kill this guy to get through the next door. And probably the second most important weapon in the run is Zapfly. Which is odd, like, it's kind of your generic, like, if you don't have any ammunition, you always have a Zapfly weapon, and you use it to knock out other bugs. But it lets you hit switches. It's really important for just knocking out enemies. Like, a fully charged shot does pretty good damage. Like, I'll knock out that guy in one shot. What the? I'm missing all my shots right now. It's shots fired, but not shots landed. And that's a tutorial done. So, the general trend for this game is if I can kill enemies, well, actually, first, if I can avoid enemies, then I avoid them. If I can't avoid enemies, then I want to kill them, and if I can't kill them quickly, which I really can't early on, then I just want to bounty them. You can't skip all cutscenes, unfortunately. Like this little one right here. It's tiny. It's such a short cutscene, but you can't skip it, and I hate it so much. You can skip some door transitions, which I think is a loading aspect of the PS, or not PS, the PC. And this is how, most of the early game goes. You would go to the bounty store, pick up a bounty, and then you go do the bounty. I'm about to get my full third-person movement. So now, after I open this door, I can run on all fours. Real talk, I'm short enough where on staircases that are really, really slanted, I can actually kind of do this. Like I can lean forward and use my hand to almost climb them. But aside from that, this is how you want to move for the most part. Just always be running, because it's way faster than anything else. Before in third person, it was actually slower to walk than to run. But now that I have that movement, I can actually move a little bit faster, or a lot faster in third person. The thing is, it's really easy to lose that run. It's kind of hard to gain. Like going up that slope. No! I lost all my movement. You can hit enemies like that, but if you jump, I'll do it to this guy. No, he backs up. If you jump, you can keep running. Okay. So this is where you find a lot of the ammunition. Just out in the wild, out and about. You can also buy it in shops. It's actually super expensive, and the game expects you not to do it that much, but we don't really spend a lot of time playing this game compared to most playthroughs, so it's not that bad. So you heal in this game by shaking off the damage. Oh, what is that guy doing? He didn't see me. In the air. That's a somewhat rare bug, where if you capture someone in the air before they land, which is usually hard to do, then the game won't know what to do with them. So enemies are kind of in odd positions right now, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Okay, that guy saw me! Yes! This might not work. I need to back up to let those enemies over there come up close. And this will spawn enemies behind me, which I can now go bounty up. Oh. Okay, and that's the first kind of pre-boss section. Every boss in this game has a weakness. This boss's weakness is just the instant capture spider, so you can just capture him instantly. It's pretty nice and convenient, actually. Before I didn't even know that. I didn't even think to try it on him when I was first trying this game, to run it, and then I saw a bot of just someone walking up and bounting him like that. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just do that from now on. I'll just walk up and get him. But yeah, that's the first real boss of the game down. But this is any %, so we're not going to see the second or third or 4th, 5th, 6th, and I think 7th. I think we see the 8th. I'm not positive how the numbers work out, because the first boss doesn't, the first bounty doesn't really count as a boss. Most of the bosses on their own actually aren't that strong. It's that they're usually surrounded by a ton of enemies, and that guy's kind of an okay example. If you try to knock him out, you can actually usually survive. But it's hard. It can be hard for new players to brawl up against him because he has 2 cronies. So this is actually one of the most dangerous parts of the run, running through towns, because the movement of the clackers, those little chicken people, are random. And if I hit them, there's a chance they'll freak out. And if that happens, they'll just run away and cry and scream. Okay. Welcome to 80%. 80%'s a lot of jumping on a tire. Oh, nice. I got this actually pretty quickly. So, normally what you could do in the Xbox, like the original Xbox version, is you could, what you would do is just jump on a sign, and it would lead you right out of the town. But I can't do that anymore, because one of the people who used to speedrun this game for Xbox actually posted about the bug on the forums when they were transitioning the game, because he didn't think anybody would try and speedrun the PC version. I'm actually okay with that, because I think the escape is way cooler. I have to leave town, but I can't get to the next town unless I do a bunch of bounties, or I kind of glitch out of here. And you're not supposed to be able to go here. For example, you can do that. This is the hardest jump, and I got it first try. Nice. And that's the first town done. Normally you have to do at least 2 more bounties, and they're actually sort of short, but way longer than that minute or so spent jumping out of bounds. From that position, you can actually go out of bounds. You can fall through the world forever, and it's comfy. It's very cozy, but that's kind of the path out of there. You just do a bunch of weird platforming. That's kind of how any percent goes for this game in general. There's a lot of just go, like you just go somewhere that you're not supposed to be able to go, and the entire world opens up. It's not necessarily that hard to do it too. That I did without any boost or anything. That was just platforming. But I don't think they expect anybody to check out the truck in as much detail as I did. Okay. So, this is the second town coming up. Like, they introduce you to a farm. You can do missions there, or you can get some money there. We don't use money for that long in the game. We're actually going to go to the shop twice, and this is the first shopping trip. And we don't even need, we just need ammunition. Something nice about this game is that everything's kind of separated out. So even though I haven't done any of the unlock missions, unlock bounties to unlock anything in the shops, which you do as the game progresses naturally, I can still come to this shop and buy whatever ammunition. Oh. So I just bought a bunch of boom bats. Boom bats, I'd say, are the most important weapon in this run. Partially because they're really good in combat. Like, holy moly, a boom bat will save your butt. My screen's actually kind of dark, so I can't see anything half the time. I don't know why, but I waited for the charge on my Zap Fly. But boom bats let you do that. You get a very, very slight boost from height, and you can also do a double jump once you reach the pinnacle of your height. So Stranger can naturally do a double jump, but double jumping off a boom bat lets you get enough height to kind of do this. And then now that I'm here, I can kind of glide here. There's a safe measure in the game, where if you're stuck in place for long enough, you can jump out of it. That's why Stranger's able to move from that spot, and you can actually proceed in the run. So, I never talked about how he handles in third person, but Stranger handles like ass. In first person, he's a first person character. Like, he handles normally, nothing too dangerous. In third person, he's pretty much car. Like, he's kind of like a car, except he can turn on a dime if needed. So there's a lot of use of first person just for turns. Especially in a case like that, where if I move forward, I couldn't really do a turn easily. This is looking... Nah, I didn't get it. So that was my bad. I jumped what I shouldn't have. Gonna blame it all on Stranger. I'm gonna liberally abuse quick saves in this game because everything is a soft lock pretty much. I'm not going that fast, but that's fine. So let me show you something cool here. This is the door to get out of town. There's a door to get out of town locking behind us. So that's that entire town. skipped. Oops. Bullmites, and Zapfly. And I definitely need more ammo as the game goes on, so I'll have to go out my way a little bit, not very much actually. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and kill those guys. It's just extra money at this point, but these guys are completely optional. Oh, did stream die? Yo, Mollusk Moth, if it's on my end, tell me, and I'll try and fix something. Okay. I'm doing the half glance at chat thing because this game actually requires quite a bit of concentration for most of it. This part's comfy though, and by comfy I mean it's actually terrifying, but you can't do anything about it. So whatever. There's a bunch of snipers. They'll kill me in 3, very rarely 4 shots. So I can take 2 blows, but as long as I keep moving and don't crash, I'm usually pretty much okay. Usually is the key word here, because usually doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to be okay. It's also not... It's probably, I'd say, a good 9 out of 10 I survive. Okay. I don't have OBS visible right now. Unfortunately, when you pause, you can't alt-tab in this game without completely pausing. Thanks, Shumpunk. But a nice try, Shumpunk. So, what you missed during that hiccup too was really just a lot of movement. We're going to the next town. We left the first. We skipped the second. The third town's interesting because theoretically I could skip this too if it wasn't for the fact the game really wants me to do this first mission coming up. And it also shows why once you start doing 80%, you can't actually you can't stop doing 80%. I'm gonna go to the bounty store and pick up this bounty. What the heck? And I don't know if you saw that, but there were a bunch of other bounties there. Those were bounties from the first 2 towns. And because of that, like, I can't do those bounties anymore. And the game doesn't, like, make any sort of suggestion, like, doesn't give you someone else's bounty to let you go back. Once you're in a town, you're stuck in that town, so... the game would soft lock if I chose any of those other bounties. Instead, I can do Explosives McGee, who's a big fucker. This entire area is actually pretty dangerous. I run this on normal, and I don't even know why I decided to when I first started running it. It was like, well, it's cool, and it's hard, and it's threatening, and that's how I played it, so I'll do it on normal. But I like it because there is a threat of death. Like, you have to do a lot more in terms of, just, like, controlling enemies and fighting. Like, you don't... On easy, you just kill everybody with Zapflies. Actually, not even that big of a time difference is the funny thing. Okay. So this is actually a cozy part, and I can show you the mechanic that I'm going to use a bunch. You shake off damage to heal, which you do by pressing E. But if you fire or take damage, it's interrupted. But there's not a cooldown on it. So if I take damage, I can just keep spamming E, and it's just not interrupted. You can actually die in the minecart section if you don't attack enemies, but there's explosive barrels everywhere. Thanks, George. So hopefully those guys don't shoot me up too much. This section is going to introduce like 3 new enemies. You saw that big metal guy. Those are melee guys. I can't run into them and I can't punch them. If I do, I take a bunch of damage. Next come the suicide guys, who are big fuckers. I could probably have ran away from him and been okay. I just didn't want to risk it. Melee guy's in a bad spot. Oh, what the? Oh, that's bad. I need to heal up a bit, unfortunately. And remember my weapon layouts. Okay, that should be enough. Actually, I'm just gonna use one more on you. I wasn't even coming. So this is another major skip, and it's actually pretty important. Let's see if I got it. Yeah, I did! Okay, I knocked myself out of the minecart. And the minecart's gonna go. I could follow it down the minecart track, but it's actually completely unsolid. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, I didn't leave third person when I landed. I'm actually locked into first person, and this is one of the most disappointing parts of the run for me. You can skip the auto-scroller. You can skip the actual auto-scrolling part of that section. But I can't skip the I can't actually skip the section or the waiting part of the auto-scroller. You also get to see the first-person stranger capture, which is not that common, so it's a rare sight to behold. Okay, so now we gotta wait this out. This gives me a chance to get more boom bat ammo. I had one boom bat lying over there from one of the boxes, so I can pick it up. I can get some more spider, more bolo mites. I don't think I actually use them anymore. I kind of forget, to be quite honest. But I don't. They're good to have on hand. I can use them for like one more section. Ammunition is gonna get really odd really quickly. It's not to say bolo mites aren't useful. They are. It's just that they're gonna be a little bit odder to use. Shoutouts to Techie. Okay, so I need to wait here for the auto-scroller to finish. This is like the brink. And I aggroed that guy because it'll actually open up a door, and now I can just shoot them. I don't actually have to kill him, but I can shoot him a bunch. It's nice. It's very fun. I've killed like both the guys in this hallway when I've done this section very quickly. And it's fun because there's no reason, you don't need to do it at all, but it's nice. There we go. That's when the minecart landed. It gives you instructions on how to get out of the cart. And now I can proceed. So what would happen if I didn't wait for the cart to land is it would get to the end of the area, and or I'd get to the end of the area and the boss, and I would actually be locked in third person. And the problem there is you can't beat the boss in third person. You need your weapons. I mean, you couldn't finish the game in first person anyways, and I don't know if it would unlock. Could do like a word for all bounties, but okay. So welcome to the hardest boss. Okay. Oh, he fired that. Okay. Okay, he's dead. Good. That's pretty quick save. I can only send him to the next track when he's Oh, I missed it. I was scared of that guy. So I'm actually not sure if that's gonna kill me or not. We'll see in a second. I'll just wait for this to pass, though. My options are wait for it to pass or fight this boss some more. And this is what scares me, is that these guys are going to be a lot farther forward. So this might actually be bust, but we'll see. So this is where the stunks come in. Okay, it didn't work. I need to bounty this boss. That's not gonna work. And like this bug is super hard to get working on this guy. But I need to like suck him up when he's hit by both effects, and it's this really weird kind of stacking. And it's not very consistent, unfortunately. See, I kind of got it there, but I got blasted back. So unfortunately, I just have to do this till it works. Oh, oh, there we go. No, there we go. Okay. It's a weird glitch. It is very odd, very inconsistent. It's actually easier on the PC version. And then this is why I was scared of the enemies. They're just gonna blast me for a bit. Actually, they didn't, so that was nice. Actually, they could have saved me some time if they blasted me a bit more. Okay. So that is actually the last bounty. Now we're gonna leave the town. I'm doing an old skip because, frankly, I'm kind of in this weird state where I'm either waiting for this game to get into a GDQ or waiting for communities to sprout out before I actually start going for the harder stuff. Because it's lonely running this game, man. When you're the only runner for a game that's still active, it's lonely. There was this one dude on YouTube, but he didn't want to do the skips, and he called me out in his video. So, yo, dude, not cool. So the most important thing you can do here is you can punch that mailbox. Oop. Okay, that's fine. So this is gonna be very snug. Okay. Now, what's supposed to happen here is you buy the Mongo Valley River Pass. It's free. And when you buy it, you can access the Mongo Valley River, which is where all the other bosses are located. You can interrupt that conversation by punching, and it's easier to turn in first person. However, I don't have a bounty yet. The game's gonna tell me, it's like, dude, you really need a bounty for this section, right? You know that, right? It's cool, right? Or maybe it's not. I think it's actually when you, okay, it's when you do another quest that warns you to go back. But right now all I can do is explore the areas. I can go outside a lot of boss areas, but I can't interact with any enemies. There's no one around yet. Because until a bounty's active, they don't actually come out. Did I go too late? No. I'm a little bit too far off to the side, unfortunately. However, the thing with this game is, like, really it's just about getting to the triggers. And before it was, well, I just have to get to the next city and I can start the next bounty, and that will get me to the next trigger. Here, bounties are actually end at this point in the game. Like, the game kind of has a free roam sort of nature. Like, everything's still fairly linear when you do it, but it's free roam-ish. Now, there's actually a fast way to do this, but I think this is the cooler way. So we can go ahead and do it like this. I probably shouldn't have said that till I got it. Okay. And this skip is just kind of a pain. But I like it. I like how it looks, because the ending is very odd. So this is where you land, and it's this little rock which gets you up here, which gets you over here, and I can go ahead and fall here very slowly, and I'm out of bounds, and I'm falling. And this game doesn't have a way to, like, you don't fall into a plane. Like, I'm not gonna get inbounds if I keep falling. You're just gone. I don't think you land anywhere, and even if you did land, you wouldn't die. Like, I've waited here I've like left it running though, and it didn't seem to go anywhere. However, I'm now back above ground. What happened is, there is no swimming in this game. So when you get in the water, it assumes you're swimming, and you can sink in the water for a bit. If you jump from a high height, you'll fall into the water more than if you jump from in the water. So right now, Stranger is currently going straight through the air to try and get back to the water because it's rising in the water. Now this lets me go out of bounds because I'm not, like, Stranger isn't here. The camera's here, but Stranger's not here. Actually, if you go first person, you can punch. You can actually shoot too. So this is where I'm a little scared. Okay, there we go. Because this is where stuff can get a little bit weird, and if I do it wrong, it breaks. So I'm gonna wait here for a bit. When I did the free fall, I actually went a little bit more than I had to, for the sole purpose of making sure I actually got to this point. And now we just go ahead and wait, look around a bit, Like I can shoot a stunk. I gotta make sure my camera's actually in the right spot. And then you see the ripples. You see the ripples. Ripples mean there's a stranger. So what's funny about this is one of the biggest time savers for this was using third person. Like you just swim faster in third person. I had to do a jump there. I have to watch out for my camera, so that's why I'm kind of hopping back and forth. But I actually lost a lot of time here by not doing it in third person. Then I did it in third person for a bit. It's like, oh wait, there's all my time. Cool. Uh-oh, a little bit too far. I'm taking this very, very safely. I'm still in the rock, which is what matters right now. This is all to get to a different point to let me get out of bounds. I had to load this area, was also the problem. Because I'd gone to the cave, I had not actually loaded this area, and I was missing all the loading triggers by being so low. Something I do like about this is if you look to the left, you can actually see the ripple effects on the rocks. Like, just to the left of Stranger. Not super visible, but it's just like this little detail of like, oh, okay, so that's the ripple effects are just on anything. It's just they expect it'll be in water. So now we're underground. And this is really where we want to be. And I'm a little bit cautious here because this is where stuff kind of can go horribly, horribly wrong. Because I don't want to spend too much time below ground, below water, because I'm still trying to load that area. If you pop into the wrong point, you can actually kind of swim in the ground, which sounds cool, but isn't very effective. And I need speed. I need to go fast from the get-go here instead of waiting for my momentum to build. Ooh, I think I just did that. Yeah. It's okay because I realized, like, to be quite honest, I'm a little bit rusty at this game, so I forgot I can just go around that tree. Okay, so we'll fall here. Okay, I'm still in the water. There's another rock here. It's a lot easier to navigate through, though. And then once you get here, you're essentially safe. And now you go back into third person. It's still kind of janky because when I go into third person, the camera will often be above the ground. And that's mostly a problem because it will move Stranger. Like, I don't need to know where he is. I don't care where he is as long as he's at the surface. But once the camera starts moving him around, then it can actually change his direction, which I care a whole lot more about. My favorite thing, though, is you do see him swimming like that. The hat popping out. Okay, here we go. Kind of like a Stranger land shark. You can actually shoot enemies from below the water. Like, what matters here isn't so much that, what matters for shooting isn't so much that, like, there's a clear path, it's that it looks like there's a clear path. And I'm gonna fall here again. It's gonna be a longer fall than last time. I'll probably do it a bit too long again just to be safe. But that's because I need to make sure that we fall for long enough. I judge how much I need to fall based off the scenery popping out. Theoretically, you'd want to fall for the minimum amount of time, and usually it's been about when it fades out. I'm not trying to load anything at this point. And actually, as you're going to see, stuff isn't going to be loaded that effectively. This is like a longer, very, very full skip. The funny thing is, like, if I could do the missions, it would only save about 5 minutes. But I can't do the bounties. Like, they're just not an option. So all of this very long glitch is to skip those lily pads. It's just lily pads that are the problem. And what those lily pads mean is that there's a current. And my two choices are, I think, I think it's 30 frame perfect jumps, which, no offense, I ain't that good. And, or a sequence of other glitches that weren't done on the PC before, but I guess are possible. Or I can just beat the game normally, which, hell no. Fuck that. Okay. So all of that is done to get over here. There's Stranger. Now, you'll notice the world's not really loaded. And you're not supposed to be back here ever. You come back here as part of a cutscene, and it's really connected just for the cutscene, I think. I don't think they want to have to load you into the next area because it's fairly brief. So, as long as you walk on this land here, everything loads. And now I just sprint to the next trigger. And the game will completely change in how it plays at that point. Well, not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of, like, mission play. As in, there will no longer be missions. Or bounties, I guess. Okay. So there's a little boat here. There's a guy on the boat. He drops you off here, so if I walk in front of him... you can't win that fight, so just open it after enough time, it ends. And then this is I could die here pretty quickly. This is a boss fight. This is actually one of the hardest boss fights in the game. Because if you use your third-person attacks, which is what everybody uses, you run out of stamina. I can also might explode randomly. Okay, I did not explode randomly. I did go the wrong way. So, you know how I can move quickly in third person before? I now have a charge. I also can't see anything because of the glare outside. Okay, there we go. I can see a bit more now, kind of. But that charge lets me go way faster than I could before. It's also much harder to control, and like you need a second of wind-up, which does end up mattering quite a bit. I got a half second really. There's like a short animation on it. This part's hard to navigate just because there's so many clackers, and it's worth it more to hit a wall than it is to hit a clacker. If you hit a clacker, you do a little bit longer of an animation. Oh, you can't really see it, but it turns out you have 6 legs. Well, 6 limbs, and people freak out. You're kind of like a goat centaur. Okay. Now this is the most important hallway. Because I feel... Oh no, my self-confidence just dropped. It's one of those hallways where, like, if you get through without hitting anything, you don't hit... Like, it's clean. If you hit one thing, though, you'll hit every corner. Because you can't control yourself well enough. And now the game changes. It's like we've changed allegiances. I'm a jerk to that guy. And I need to go ahead and pick up some ammunition. So I still have boom bats, and I actually have these cool sniper darts, which I'll be using more later. This is how you normally find a lot of ammunition just kind of floating around. I've mostly got them from boxes at this point. And to the left is one of the coolest parts of the game. Up at this fork. And then to the right is where we're supposed to go. So we're going to go to the left, or to the right. The thing is, there's a big gate. Oops. And we're going to do some even more intricate skips in a second. There's a box of sniper ammunition, which I'm going to use in, like, it comes up once. But it's worth it enough where, like, I should drop the few seconds it takes to pick those up. Because each one of those will one-shot an enemy. So you come in from the other side, so you have to go there to start the cutscene. And welcome to probably the most intricate skip in the game besides the boat skip. Unfortunately, it is very ammo precise. So if I mess something up, I'm going to have to reload immediately. Oops. Okay. Wait, am I being dumb? Yeah, I am. Okay, that jump's actually really hard to make. And then this is probably the hardest boom bat jump in the game. Because I have to land on that pole. And it's not super consistent to do boom bat jumps. There we go. This is super hard on keyboard, specifically. Because I can't control how quickly I move. Oh man, I can't see anything. Okay. Okay, this is also really hard. Pretty much everything in this skip is hard. Okay. I have to land on that rock with enough speed to be running in a position that will let me keep running. Almost. That was really close. I think the worst part about this section is actually that the grubs will keep yelling at me. Okay. Nah, too late on the transition. And the reason I'm doing it from back here is it's just easier. Oh, don't tell me I screwed up the jump. I screwed up the jump! I screwed up the double jump, the easiest part of that. No! There we go. This is an odd position. That was an odd landing. Okay. And then... yeah. Okay. So that gets us all the way over here, which gets us to this boat. Now the boat's weird. It controls terribly, but it's there, and it lets us beat the game. I have to hit that door to trigger the next cutscene. If not, I will be stuck in a wall. But what happens there is, so there's a broken boat that they won't let you take because it's broken. They have to fix it up. And when you go to you know, do the little mini quest, they'll fix it up. The thing is, the mini quest takes about 3 minutes. That took about maybe 2 minutes. And that lets you spend enough time to go around and get into the boat. Thing is, everything in that skip is incredibly just weird and precise. Because you have to land on a wooden pole. Landing on stranger, just moving a stranger in general, is weird. This game's got very... Every time someone says I'll speedrun this game, they always go, the controls are really weird, never mind. And I can agree, the stranger does not handle well. And then you land on the boat, which is, I think, destroyed there for no reason. I actually spoke to one of the guys who ported the game over, and they didn't know why it was there. It's just there, though. I can die here pretty easily, so be very careful. Like I said, this game's all about getting to the trigger. So there's like a bunch of guys shooting at me right now. Life's awful. I can jump, and jumping will let me go underwater for a bit, and that actually lets me drop their shots. If you don't jump, you die. Like, it's just over. And I'll just swim to this trigger. And what do you know? Boat's here. So we're gonna boat for a couple more minutes, actually for like another minute. And it's gonna get us to last legs, the second to last zone, which is just kind of like at this game, the game is coming apart really. It's either really optimized, or you just skip everything. Excuse me. This part is actually really difficult, not so much for the movement, but I want to park the boat in a good place, and I totally did not. So there's a current here. I can't just swim through it. It'd be the same as before when you do a ton of frame perfect jumps. Not 30 this time, probably about maybe 10 or so. You want the boat parked in a good spot. Ow. Ow. Come on, boat. That was actually like the worst spot possible because it was stuck in between the door. You want the boat parked in a good spot though, so you can go quickly. Okay, and now you can see the current action just pushing me to the wall. I don't want to go to that wall, but it pushes me to it. And now I'm going to show you why the boat's awesome. You probably saw it for a bit. And you can actually see it if I go to first person. That's a turret. I can't use that turret, though. The boat uses that turret on its own. The boat's awesome. Because if I put it in the right spot, it's about to kill a lot of guys. I've not put it in the right spot. I might die now. Okay, so now I need to kill some guys. Kill you. Let's count it. Yeah, capture you. Let's me get in position for this. So there's a bunch of guys here. They'll kill me. So I can do that. My ammunition has improved. I no longer have a single target Bolamite. I now have a shotgun Bolamite, which is it's actually amazing. It has bad range, but yeah, but it lets me just CC people to get through them. I still have boom bats though. That's important because boom bats are good for skip still. It ain't right, it ain't right. Oops. That is okay, I don't need that boom bat. Whoop, zap fly. I just wish I could see something. Okay. So I come all the way over here to climb up here, which lets me kind of walk the wall. The wall is very unstable though, so I'm very cautious about it. And if you spend too much time coming here, a dropship comes and you essentially have to reload if you fall. This is actually the scary part of the drop right there. Oh no! Damn. Oh, that's the other part. Every fall leads to the abyss. So I have to be very just like quick save, quick load. That was lucky I fell onto that piece of wood. Oh god. I thought I was in a piece of wood. So you don't get a lot of speed for the jump, but if you go to third person, you'll get it back. And the reason I don't care about losing that boom bat is because I could just get it back right now. The heck? There we go. And now the game is about to be even, like, less than stable than normal. I have to do a run from here, but if I'm too far on the edge, I'll be teetering. There we go. You can all see that, like, there we go. And that gets you to, that skips an entire combat sequence. This section I just have to run to the end. There's a bunch of enemies, but if you run fast, you're not dangerous. Okay. Oh yeah, actually, PX is bringing up a good point. There's a lot of free heal triggers, and I know where they are. Like I think of them and go, okay, I can just heal now, especially if I'm about to die. And you actually do abuse them quite a bit. There's a few boss fights where they're almost crucial. Like Explosives McGee, the second boss we fought, you get a free heal in the middle of it once he leaves his cart, and you need it. You absolutely need that free heal. So we're coming in on the last part of the game here. This is going to be the last area. It's also going to be the end of the boat soon, so enjoy it while you can, because there is a long boating sequence coming up actually, so it'll take a little while. So, fun boat facts though. This boat handles like the Warthog from Halo, but also has normal WASD controls. So, what you do is you can change your camera to move it, but if you want to like take a really tight turn, you also have to do WASD movement. So you can actually get really good control over it. It's just that it needs to move around. Like it can't turn on a dime. Other boat facts: boats are pretty cool. They go in the water. I'm out of boat facts. I don't know anything about boats. I knew someone who, in college, was a communications major because he wanted to work on a boat, and he already had a boat lined up to work on. And he just said he wanted a degree, so he went communications. That's all I know about boats and boat people. Now, this section's funny because the FPS is going to drop. I don't know why. It just does. It's the snow, I'm pretty sure. But I've never seen it not drop here, and this PC can run this game fine. There it goes.
Natives are gonna be pounding this place soon. I best get in there quick.
Okay, so I need to hit 2 switches to open up a door. However, there's a shitload of enemies and turrets. So I need to plant the turret in a position where it can hit that. No! That happens sometimes. Hey, give me a boost. Okay, so I need a prayer and fuzzles. Get out of it. Get in the water. In the water. So the reason I need those fuzzles is because it'll keep enemies from hitting the switch themselves. Which they can't do! Oh no, that's the quick load right there. Unfortunately. It's really hard to get back up there. Wait, no, actually, I'm dumb. I think it actually might be faster, so I'll just quick load. Once enemies start grouping up, this game just slows down. Okay. So that's why I'm planting a bunch of traps here. They also let me knock out these guys. You can hear that one of those guys is drowning. So the turrets got destroyed this time. That's how you heal, by the way. You shake off the damage. I'm staying a little bit farther back because when the doors open, I'd like to get some speed. The way the boat works, though, is it's kind of hard to do it. So there we go. We don't have any acceleration going in. That's fine. That's like a half-second save. So we're using the boat to navigate up this dam. The dam section, these early parts are pretty simple. There's switches to hit. But because you don't have that boat for that long boat sequence, it's actually slower. And not like a bit slower, like noticeably slower. I used to try I tried to land in the boat a couple times, but it's actually slower because you spend more time recovering from the fall than if you just jump in the water and pop back up. Real talk. I like the song Shake It Off. It's a pretty good song. Pop's weird because like I usually don't care about the themes or the music that much, but it's like, yeah, sure, it's probably not that bad. And it really isn't. Who can't enjoy some T-Swift? Is it my favorite song? No, but I'm usually down to listen to some Shake It Off. It also didn't help that the lobby of my old apartment building used to always play it. So I'd always come back, and I just got used to it after a while as well. It's just like, oh yeah, that's the Shake It Off song. I didn't know it was by Taylor Swift, but I just knew that song, and knew the lyrics to it because, well, I kept hearing them. Sorry, I was zoning out about Taylor Swift. I'm supposed to jump up this rope. So we're gonna snipe some people. We'll snipe some buttons, but that's go. There's actually a guy in the way, which is not common. Hit both those switches. Get that guy. I gotta kill this guy, because he is a fucker. And boss fight time! So these bosses aren't super dangerous, they don't do a lot of damage. But what makes them scary is if they knock you to the ground, which wastes time, they can kill you at that point. Ammo box. I like how they now carry improved ammo for me. It's like, thank you, bad guys. You're nice. Okay, this is when the skips start coming in. Most of these skips are also terrifying. So I actually need that ammo, but I have to give it up in order to get up here and then get up. No. No. Get up here, then get up here, then get up here. This skip's really scary because the boom bats are a lot less reliable. Oh, I actually don't need quick save. I can. And the reason I'm scared is there are 2 electro tanks. That's what an electro tank does. Alright, I was able to load my safety save. And also turn on all my cheats and hacks. Oh, I need my suck. What am I doing? What am I doing? So, coming up is a very weird glitch. Not glitch, but skip. And it's going to involve kind of riding on an invisible barrier. Nope. So, actually, it's optimally, it'll involve riding on an invisible barrier. Unoptimally, it'll involve me just kind of getting down any way possible. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we're on this edge. This edge is actually awful and easy to fall off of. Because when you bounce off, you do get knocked to the side a bit. Only a bit. And that skips a large chunk of danger in a boss, actually, like a mini boss. You don't have to kill it, but it is much harder to run through an area when there's a mini boss attacking you. What are you doing, Stranger? What are you doing? I have to heal up a bit. What's the estimate, by the way? So I'm gonna be honest. My estimate was kind of hopeful. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably be like 105. Oops. This is a small skip right here. There's actually a major skip for this section, but it's awful to do, and it's unreliable, less reliable on PC, and it does save like a good 30 seconds, but it's horrible. Because I jumped from like that onto that little platform, there aren't any enemies spawned in, and I can just run in. The scary part of this is that there are a bunch of snipers and a bunch of catapults, and the catapults might still hit me. The snipers should be a little bit more docile because of the route I'm going to take, climbing up the next area that affects respawns, or seems to. I don't know. I might be just going off pure it works, and I think it works. That's why I do it. Normally, there's a ton of enemies to the left. You can snipe them pretty easily in a casual playthrough. I just don't want to do that. Now that's where I get scared, because there's a tank coming up. Tank's not scary, but usually there's a catapult shot right behind him. And we made it. So I never really talked about this, but the stunts went from being like AoE CC to they actually pull enemies into the middle now. So I can do this and collect all my ammo. Yes, that is incredibly satisfying, in case you're wondering. And then I need to stock up on these two. So here's those mini bosses I fought before. No. I missed. No. I'm just gonna miss all my shots. So I am gonna need ammo for the final boss. Unfortunately, because of how they attack, it gets really hard not to get bound. Because it is a shotgun effect. You can kind of jump like I did and get lucky. Ooh, I can blow this guy up. There we go. So if you fight these guys in third person at all, you'll actually get knocked to the ground when they do that spin attack. And I actually want this guy in this position so I can pick up more ammo for the final boss. Because I want to make sure I'm fully stocked. Yeah, let's go full ammo. Full ammo. Already behind, I'm not going to waste time being unsafe. Because the final boss is pretty simple in how you kill him, but you do need enough ammo. Okay. One, two. I think I was a bit late. That was early. That was awful. No. Nope, died. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bait that laser to hit the boss. But if I don't get it, I die. There we go. Oops. Ah! The laser field. That's a death. Yeah, this is just some rust, unfortunately. I can actually switch to thud slugs now. And time's coming up in a bit. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I guess I just took too much damage. That's unfortunate. I guess I have to do this a slower way. Sorry guys, this is jokes. Okay, time.